How's it going? How's it going? Happy Thursday, y'all. Welcome back to Boxem Office Hours here. And if you guys are watching on the YouTube replay, we've got a free workshop going down at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. That'll be on like a free private Zoom call with you guys. We're doing something we have never done before. Even if you've been to a recent workshop, we're getting even crazier with it tonight. So yeah, if you guys want you want to take my word for it, you want some insanely good resources, sourcing method, learn how to get ungated, all the basics plus something pretty insane. Make sure you guys are on the workshop tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. The link is down below for that. And as you guys are popping in, let me know what questions you guys have about the process of just making some money on Amazon. I've been doing this full time for several years now at this point. Just buying and selling name brand stuff from big websites and slinging it back on Amazon for a profit. You can also go hit like local retail stores and stuff. Which is kind of a good time to be getting after it right now with Prime Day coming up very soon. There'll be a good little little sales boost. Lots of good profitable products just sitting on various websites as they're trying to compete with Amazon as well. So yeah, it'll be a good time. If you don't know how to source those products, I will see you on the workshop tonight. We're going to be breaking down tons of different ways to source and that kind of thing. Let's see. Somebody got the first question going. Here, you've been in the weeds. I like the question. Clearly been finding some products there. You said, any tips on creating profit aside from gift cards, discount signups, and cashback cards? Those are great ways to add margin for sure. Look at like loyalty rewards programs can be huge. Like sign up coupons, just like checking like regular coupon websites can also be good. The main thing you're trying to kind of build the skill of is understanding like when a certain website or when a certain sale is among its best, and then going crazy buying a bunch of stock when that kind of specific condition is true. And that just comes by putting in some reps, consistently sourcing, consistently looking at websites. And you can also, like, next time you found a product and you're like not sure, you might be able to make some profit on it, you're not super sure, you can go on the Boxem AI and just ask the Boxem AI how to make more profit sourcing from whatever website you're looking at. And it knows, based on all the different ways to create discount methods, it'll know that specific website how to find things as cheap as possible. Sometimes it'll even know like what the best sale that website runs is, that kind of thing. So yeah, the Boxem AI is a really good resource for making sure that the stuff you're sourcing is actually on a really good price. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about at all, kind of the key to like finding a bunch of profitable stuff on Amazon is like going beyond just looking at retail prices and making sure you're also looking at all the different possible ways you can create some profit on a product. Leveraging discounts, bulk discounts, cashback, rewards programs, all this different stuff. That's where a lot of people will try to sell on Amazon. It just like never ends up clicking for them because they are expecting profit to fall in their lap because somebody online told them that selling on Amazon was super easy or something like that. And unfortunately, that's not the case. Obviously take some legwork to find some profitable stuff there. But just get some practice in, and things will start to make a lot of sense. I know for me, it took me like a few weeks to find my first online arbitrage product. Now there was like no one like showing people how to do it for free or anything like that. Like people were charging thousands of dollars to learn how to get ungated. Now you can like do it in bulk for free. So there's that. Like I think it's a lot easier now to get started especially from like a knowledge perspective. But yeah, how much did you do in your first month? So my first month, I actually just sold used books, and it was like a couple $100. I was just selling used books, like stuff on my bookshelf here from the thrift store, stuff like that. My first month of online arbitrage was took me a little bit to get some products going, that kind of thing. But yeah, the first year I kind of fully switched my store to reselling stuff from websites. We sold about $600,000 that year. So yeah, it was like a six-figure income that year, like net profit after it's all said and done. And that was a result of already learning some of the basics, selling used books, which was super cheap and like an easy way to start. And also making sure I had like some friends in the space. So I started making like videos and stuff, like, going live, doing stuff like this to meet other people that are like serious about making money on Amazon. And those connections kind of helped me like understand what to do a lot faster. So that'd be like, one, like, you got to get out of the comfort zone if you want to have, like outsized results in life, right? That means you got to get out of the comfort zone and like buy inventory, get out of the comfort zone and talk to people about your business. that kind of thing. You're not going to change your life, at least like super dramatically, unless you're willing to get uncomfortable a little bit. Let's see. Can you borrow $1? I respect it. Let's see. Is OA going to get patched soon? I don't know what you mean by that, but like people have been saying, like you can't sell name brands. Like I started in like 2018, and I thought you couldn't sell name brands on Amazon. Like they'd ban you or something like that, and eventually realized that's just like not true. So I've been doing the same thing since I've been selling name brands on Amazon since like 2019 ish. And we've had our accounts reviewed, we've gotten our accounts back, brands reviewed, that kind of thing. Just as long as you're buying from legitimate retailers. I think a lot of people who get in trouble with Amazon are like buying from sketchy retailers and then pretending that they didn't know why they got banned when they like obviously bought from somewhere with just like super unrealistic pricing or something. Let's see. Said you're just starting out. You made your SellerAmp account last night. What are the best videos you recommend watching as someone who's just getting started? Sweet. Yeah, glad you're getting after it. So, I mean, if you're just getting started, like, if you can be on the workshop tonight, that's going to be the absolute best free content you're going to have access to. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern, and the link is in the description or up in my bio. If you're busy at 7 p.m., then some of the more recent videos about like products to source that are already ungated is a good place to start as well. Yeah, honestly, like there's also a full free course on my YouTube channel. Just look up Fields of Profit free course. Is a 5-hour long video that shows you a bunch of the different steps in detail. But still, the best place to learn for free is going to be on the workshop tonight. Let's see. Are you doing drop shipping? So no, drop shipping is not allowed on Amazon unless you do it under like very specific circumstances. So like when most people think about drop shipping, they are buying products from like, or they're like listing something that's available for sale on Walmart.com. And then when someone buys it on Amazon, they're shipping it to the customer. That's like against Amazon's terms of service. So you want to not drop ship on Amazon if you want to stay, keep that account nice and healthy there. Let's see. What's up, man? You said you joined the course a couple years ago, never did anything with it. So just look in your email. You'll still have access to everything, man. And then just like shoot me a DM if I can answer any other questions and stuff for you. What's that? We got a somebody evangelizing Arby's in here. What's up? TikTok chat is a wonderful place sometimes. Let's see. What car do you drive? I mean, I don't sell on Amazon for like big flexes and that kind of thing. I sell on Amazon for I sell on Amazon to work as few years of my life and then retire so I can work on whatever I want. Have time with friends, family, that kind of thing. Let's see. Do you do private label? Nope. I just buy name brand stuff from big websites. Sometimes I'll buy from wholesalers and flip that back on Amazon there. Let's see. You started noticing some listings have maximum capacity reach or something along those lines. Does that mean you shouldn't send those in for FBA for those listings? So you might be seeing that like if you've already if you've already been sending a bunch of stuff into Amazon, then maybe you're like at max storage capacity for that. I don't know exactly what you're talking about there, Sabrina. I'm not sure I've seen that. So if you want to give me some more info or something like that, something like that. See. Something like that. How do you buy wholesale to sell on Amazon? So I don't do a ton of wholesale. I've done probably $500,000 in sales via wholesale. So it's like a pretty small part of my business. But like a good place to start would just be like any of the brands you're already selling. If you don't already have any brands that you're already selling on Amazon, then start looking through like the storefronts of other Amazon sellers who have like 50 to 100 feedback. That's going to show you other small sellers like you. And you can figure out like what brands other small third-party resellers have success on. And that's like a good place to start. You can also go onto SellerAmp Advanced Search. That's how I like to source a lot of products now. And I'll start plugging in brands that I can get ungated for free, which, there's a lot of like, jargon keywords in that. So if you guys are like brand new to Amazon, let me know if you have any questions on that. And we're also doing a free workshop on Zoom tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern to kind of show you everything in full detail. It'd be like 60 to 90 minutes of just like tons of value for you guys. We're also giving away something pretty crazy tonight. So I'll leave it at that. And we probably might not do it as insane as this. We're going to, those of you guys that take my word on it, we'll hook you up tonight. Let's see. How much do you net? So if you want to be around like 20% gross margin, And then that's like pretty typical for a lot of like arbitrage sellers, anywhere from like 16 to 20% gross margin. And then for me personally, I shoot for 10% net margin because I have my team working full time, sourcing all my products, shipping all my products, buying all my products for me, managing the store, that kind of thing. So that way there's plenty of margin left for me to outsource things. Other people like working super long hours and making maximum profit from their business. So that's like you can kind of choose what you want your net margins to be, but your gross margins are going to be around, like I said, like 16 to 20%, sometimes higher if you're like really good at sourcing products. But that's like pretty what you should like kind of reasonably expect there. Yeah, and then just like breaking down the numbers behind it, because I know a lot of people have questions on that. Let's say you sell $100 on Amazon. Typically, to sell that $100, you will have spent $50 on that product. That's just like the typical, cost of goods compared to how much you're selling something for. And then of that $100, about 30 of those dollars are going to go to Amazon for them finding the customer, shipping a customer for you, that kind of thing. And then the $20 that are left is your gross profit. That's like that's like how a typical item will break down. There's obviously exceptions and things change when it gets really expensive or really cheap, but on a general rule, if you look at your account like in its entirety, that's typically where you'll see your numbers start to shake out. Let's see. What's up? You said, saw the email about the workshop. Sweet. Yeah. Seen the course. Where can you find the Amazon community? Yeah, there's a bunch of good free communities. So we have a free Discord community. We have a free Facebook group. There's lots of other, creators and that kind of thing that have free groups in the Amazon space as well. That's a good place to just get like, diverse opinions and that kind of thing. And, figure out what makes sense for you. Find other people that do the same thing as you. That's also really big. Where do you find products to sell without having to apply? So go to if you're looking for things that you can already sell right now with no ungating, go to Boxem and then click the bulk auto ungating feature. And then that's going to just like scan a ton of products and show you in real time what you're approved to sell for free with no invoices, that kind of thing. And then if you want to get really fun with it, you can either start looking through the storefronts of people who sell those brands because they've already done the research to like know what the good products are in those brands. Or you can plug those into a SellerAmp advanced search, and then you'll see like all the best products in that brand. Yeah, what's it called again? Yeah, so for getting a bunch of things ungated at once, you'll go to Boxem, and then you'll go to bulk ungate. Yeah, and that'll basically you'll be able to plug your store in, and you'll get a bunch of brands ungated there, and that'll be a good place to start. I know a lot of like newer Amazon sellers are starting there. Getting their first 10, 20, 50K in sales just selling auto ungated products. Focus on gross and you'll grow your net from there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it is a lot easier to control your margins if you're just sourcing better products on the front end. Like it sounds obvious. I mean, it is kind of obvious and a little bit oversimplified, but at the end of the day, like if you can increase your margins, whether it is, making sure you're being a little bit greedier in terms of how much profit you're looking for on a product or, yeah, just like all those different ways to increase profit on the front end, that's obviously going to make your net margins better. Yeah, because there's like Amazon fees and that kind of stuff you got to factor in. Yeah, SellerAmp's a lot easier to use, Fortunato, and then there's also a couple extra data points and stuff that you can use on SellerAmp there. Plus, like with the price increases, it just makes sense to just use SellerAmp and Boxem now, since like product finder's more expensive now. Whenever you search for Crayola, it says quantity not updated max. I don't know if I've seen that before, Sabrina. You can send me a Discord message. I can take a look on that. That's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, so let me know what other questions you guys got here. Let's see. Interested? How do you start? I mean, the easy place to start, like the cheapest place to start. I'll go there, right? Cheapest place to start is to go to your bookshelf and and sell one of the books that you haven't touched in years on Amazon and be like, all right, this is how I make a sale. This is how I ship something to a customer, that kind of thing. Obviously not how you're going to like grow the fastest. So if you're willing to like put some money into it, relatively quickly, then auto ungated sourcing is going to be your best bet in terms of like things that you can sell right now and kind of get going. And yeah, and if you have like questions and stuff on that, then we'll be breaking all that down on the workshop tonight. So on Zoom, 7 p.m. Eastern, you guys can get invited up here or down below, depending on where you're watching there. Can your first sale be a gated item, or should you not try that as your first product? No, you can sell gated products right away. It's just like, do you want to wait, a few days, a few weeks, that kind of thing to get approved to sell a brand when you could sell auto ungates right now? And there is no correct answer. I just think it's better to make your sale sooner than waiting for brand approvals and stuff, when there's already like pretty decent brands that you can sell with no ungating needed and that kind of thing. Let's see. What's Discord? Yeah. So yeah, on Discord, we have like a free community. That's up in my profile, or down below. But yeah, I was kind of answering a YouTube comment there. Sweet. Yeah. Let me know what other questions you guys running into, when it comes to selling on Amazon, making money online, all that good stuff. I've been talking about this a little bit, but we got Prime Day coming up. And that'll be a big opportunity in terms of, a small sales boost for us. But remember, like every other website on the planet is going to run a sale to compete with Amazon Prime Day, which is going to create a bunch of cheap inventory for us to kind of come in and scoop up. So usually like Prime Day, like any holiday or that kind of thing as well, holidays, Prime days, those are usually good sourcing days. Especially like Black Friday. Like a lot of times, I'll be at like Thanksgiving dinner, eating Thanksgiving, and then locking on the laptop for a little bit. I remember definitely a couple years ago when I was still buying all my own inventory as well before I like built a team. Like I'd eat Thanksgiving dinner and then I'd sit down and spend like 30, 40, $50,000 on inventory because everything gets so cheap. So Prime Day won't be like as insane as Black Friday, but next week there's going to be lots of good profitable inventory. It starts on the 23rd. Let's see. How do you find verified wholesale suppliers? I mean, like, just make sure you're buying from someone that you like can trust, more or less. If you're asking that question, I'm gonna assume you're not already selling stuff on Amazon, which means that wholesale isn't really what you should be worried about. Wholesale is how you can scale a store that you already know what you want to sell, right? You're already selling those things, which you can just source them from websites. Let's see. Some auto ungated products have a bunch of sellers with not very many sales per month. So that's like just whatever you've been looking at, right? So you can basically make yourself a list of like thousands of things you can sell. So run that Boxem scan, start plugging all those brands into SellerAmp Advanced Search, and then just filter those by sales rank, and you'll get a list of all the fastest selling things you can already sell on Amazon. And there's I can 100% guarantee you're auto ungated in something with better stats than that. Probably just haven't like broken it down in the right way yet, which is totally fine. It takes a second to like understand the right ways to look into Amazon seller data and that kind of thing. If it was super easy, it probably wouldn't be as profitable as it has remained. What are you looking for Prime Day and back to school? The amount of items sold or profit. Yeah, so like for back to school season, usually I like selling things that seasonally sell a little bit better during that season, but aren't like not going to sell at all after that. So like Christmas is an easier example. Like I don't usually like selling Christmas lights, but I'll sell, shoes, toys, clothes, that kind of thing, right? Stuff that people give as gifts. So similar for back to school, right? Maybe like the classroom decorations and stuff like that might be a little bit riskier than, like crayons, backpacks, all that good stuff. And then if you want to see like what sold really well last back to school season, you can go and filter by historical sales rank on SellerAmp. So like you could build a search and say like, hey, show me everything in the arts and crafts category that sold really well last August and September during back to school season. And then you have a list of like back to school products you can start looking into selling, right? What's the best business cards for capital? So I assume like if you're looking into leveraging credit cards, like if you're going to leverage debt to grow your business, I would be careful with that. Just make sure you're at a point where if you're starting to leverage credit cards, make sure you know exactly what you want to buy. Make sure you know how much it's going to make you, how long it's going to take to sell. So like, I would never like suggest starting off with credit cards. Like you don't want to just like leverage a bunch of debt, because it's just going to like amplify what you're already doing. But if you're already like making sales, JP, then you can look at like the Amex Gold gives you like kind of way too much money on a credit line. There's like several like decent cards you can look into. I like the Capital One Spark, but that's like a charge card that I use to like optimize cash back. Let's see. Is there a reason why a lot of new sellers seem to be selling sets of 2 or 3 or more of the same item? A lot of times bundles can be more profitable than a single, is why you might see that. Just because like if you sell a single of something, and maybe it's like $11, the percentage of the sale price that goes to Amazon fees is higher than if you sold a 2-pack for maybe even like $20 or $21. So that's why you might see a lot of people selling multi-packs of things. Just because sometimes they can make an item profitable that's not profitable on its own. So you could like look in, you like next time you see a multi-pack, look up the single and like pay attention to the profit difference there. Let's see. A bunch of your items say you need approval even though you typed in an ungated item. So just run the bulk ungate scan on Boxem, and then you can just start sourcing through those brands that you get ungated for free there. That'll like be the simple place to start. How should you optimize Prime Day for Amazon to Amazon? I don't do a ton of Amazon to Amazon. Like I'll do it. I do it a little bit. I just like selling. I like buying stuff that I can sell immediately at a profitable price point, and not have to wait for Amazon to like go out of stock and that kind of thing. There will be some opportunities to snipe, which you can use. You can use advanced search on SellerAmp to do Amazon to Amazon as well. There's like a template that's like default on the tool. You can just click 8 away, and it'll kind of find you the low hanging fruit of Amazon to Amazon, which is kind of crazy. If you guys like don't know what that is, like you can buy stuff from Amazon and then typically like wait for Amazon to go out of stock, that kind of thing, and then sell it at like a much higher price point when they're gone there. But yeah, sounds like you've been in the weeds there. Let's see. What do you pocket? Yeah, so I talked about this earlier, but I shoot for like 10% net margin after I pay my team to run the whole store for me. You want to be close to like 20% gross margin, so you have wiggle room to afford your software, any employees you want to hire, that kind of thing. You don't need to worry about that for a little while, but you should still be trying to hit like a 20% gross margin, which is fairly straightforward and reasonable for most products. Sometimes I'll go under that if I can, make like a volume play, right? So I can buy a ton of stuff that is going to be like super consistent in pricing, that kind of thing. Maybe I'll go a little bit lower. Sells fast, the risk seems low, that kind of thing. You can make some sacrifices on margin there, but typically you want to be like 20%. So you said you just learned and made 15 sales so far, started at the end of May. That's a good start, man. Yeah, that's a good start. Keep it up there. I know there's a lot of people who start looking into making some money online, and then 6 months later they're still watching YouTube videos or still studying, talking to ChatGPT about their business ideas and stuff. So like you got it off the ground. That's the hard part. The first sale is difficult, right? Because it takes taking action on all the different steps, and then getting to like that first 10K month. Once you get to that first 10K month, it's like, how do I repeat that? How do I add zeros to these purchase orders? How do I source products more efficiently rather than like, how do I source something in the first place? How do I sell, how do I list something on Amazon? The problems get like progressively, not easier to solve, but like you've already built some of the foundations basically. Let's see, Prime Day is coming. You want to optimize and learn. Yeah. So honestly, for Prime Day for me is going to be, most of the opportunity is going to be sourcing off of websites that are running sales to compete with Amazon during those same days, rather than like maybe there'll be some Amazon to Amazon opportunities I'll hop on. That's just kind of something I snipe on in the moment on SellerAmp. So that could be something worth looking into. But for the most part on Prime Day, I'm just going to be looking at all my favorite websites that I'm used to sourcing from, because most of them will run some kind of sale to compete with Amazon. And then stock up during Prime Day, and then sell a bunch of that stuff while that price you got it at, that super low price, is not available on their website anymore. So you're nervous about finding legit wholesalers. Are you already selling on Amazon? If you're not already selling on Amazon, then don't worry about doing wholesale. You have net 30 with your supplier, so potential 60-day net with the credit card as well. Oh yeah, nice, JP. Yeah, I know. You could look into something like Melio as well for like those wholesale suppliers that don't let you use, don't let you pay with a credit card because of like the fees and stuff. That can be a good thing to look into for sure there. Sweet, sounds good. Yeah, if you're Monique, if you are already cool, you're doing all 9 and in-store arbitrage. Awesome. Yeah. So arbitrage, like you scale that to like 100K a month or so, because it's a lot simpler to scale to 100K a month. And then while you're scaling to 100K, maybe around the 50 to 100K a month mark, at the very least, just start emailing the brands that you're selling a lot of. Start calling the brands that you're selling a lot of, and see if they have a bulk buyers program. That's like the simplest place. That's where a lot of people will get started with wholesale. But yeah, like if you're still, especially like a lot of people, they'll be at like 3K a month or something like that, 10K a month even, and they're like worried about adding in different business models and stuff. Like just try to keep it as simple as possible until you start hitting like significant bottlenecks, and then you can change up how you're sourcing products and that kind of thing. Let's see. You noticed your mistakes costing you time and money. Glad not too much money. Yeah, finding your first product has been fun. Yeah, cool. Glad you're getting started there, Shark. But yeah, I mean everybody makes mistakes along the line. I think the most expensive mistake I've made that comes to mind was buying way too much of something via wholesale, which is why I don't usually that's why I don't usually recommend like jumping straight in with wholesale, because I tried jumping straight in with wholesale several years ago and I bought way too much of something that I would have learned really easily doing arbitrage for a long time that I should not have bought. Like basically just wasn't able to get sales on it as a third party seller. But I would have known that if I'd been buying it from websites and stuff. Struggling to find your first product right now. Yeah, finding the first products. That's one of the hardest parts. So there's a bunch of videos on the YouTube channel recently that'll show you how to source products. And then we're also going to be on the workshop tonight. We're going to be showing you some sourcing methods that are not on YouTube anywhere, right? So showing you kind of some more exclusive sourcing methods, hooking you up. We've got some crazy something crazy valuable to give you as well on the live workshop. So yeah, if you guys are free tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, definitely hop on the live workshop with us. It's going to be down below or up above, depending on what platform you're watching on, if you want to get invited to that. Let's see. Raw, you said you're sourcing right now. That's what's up. Did you find anything yet today? I'm curious. What do you do with your dead inventory? eBay, Facebook? Yeah, so I mean, like, if you have inventory that didn't sell, it's usually only going to be for like a listing that went weird, or like the brand wanted to kick you off or something like that. So usually dead inventory is going to be stuff like that, which we already know how fast it sells. That's like the point of reselling. So then I'll start selling that on like I sell a bunch of stuff that maybe didn't do as well on Amazon, or I just want to sell in multiple places. I sell it on Walmart, and I've also started selling some of it on Temu, which is kind of funny that you can even do that. I actually made a full like YouTube video that I posted on that a couple days ago. If you guys are like curious into selling on some new marketplaces there. Let's see. Still searching. Sounds good, man. How can you do better with retail arbitrage? I mean, it's kind of there's a lot that you could go into. Retail arbitrage, like retail would be like specifically going out to stores. I'm not sure if that's what you're doing, versus like online, which is like buying from big websites. So if you want to like make retail arbitrage a little bit easier, then start trying to make connections with the managers at your local stores. Yeah, going to stores, cool. Yeah. So next time you go in, like try to talk with the manager, like decision maker, that kind of thing. Try to get a scoop. When do you guys mark down your clearances? When's the next time you're getting a clearance shipment in? Like anything like that. When do you get new deliveries? Another thing, especially you could do this with like hardware stores, some Walmarts, even some things like that. If you find something that works really well for you, you could even just like talk to the retail manager and ask them if they can, place an order for you and keep it in the back, and you can buy a bunch of like stuff in bulk that way. I've done that a little bit. One of my friends does that a ton, like with hardware stores, like I was talking about. Basically just treats like their local Lowe's like a wholesale supplier and rolls up in the back and picks up a whole bunch of stuff. And the store manager likes it because they get to increase their store sales. It just really depends on the conversations you can have. How do you get to your first 200 sales quickly? That's a very specific number, but auto ungated sourcing is going to be the best place to get there. Which yeah, if you're on the workshop tonight, you'll understand like exactly step by step what to do, what tools to use, where to go online, that kind of thing. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up stream here. And I'll see you guys again here in 2.5 hours for the free workshop. We'll be sourcing products together, breaking all that kind of stuff we just talked about. So yeah, we'll see you guys later tonight. Appreciate you guys for popping in here for a little bit. And I'll see you guys later tonight. See you guys. I'll ask a quick couple questions on YouTube here. I see And you can just sign up below. It's free for 2 weeks, DW. How are you making sure you have a proper invoice? Not sure if you have the right one. So as long as you get an email from the supplier, like if you bought from Target, Walmart, that kind of thing, as long as you have an email, you have an invoice. And that'll be like proof that you buy legit inventory there. So sweet. Appreciate you guys popping in here, and I will